Nigerian youth react as it said, why Dangote Refinery engage 11,000 workers from India. Hello everyone, welcome to newsspottv. The Sub-Saharan African Skills and Apprenticeship Stakeholders Network has explained why the Dangote Refinery engaged 11,000 skilled workers from India while neglecting youth from Nigeria and other African countries. The network on Wednesday noted that the reason for the neglect was that youth from Nigeria lacked the adequate skills needed to be engaged in the assignments. In a communique issued at the end of the two-day meeting in Abuja, the network noted that it has resolved that each country in Africa develop a national skills qualification framework that will enable ease of labor migration across the continent. The communique, which was released on Wednesday, was signed by the Secretary General of the regional organization, Usman Sila. In the communique, SASANet noted that it observed the need for SASANet to engage in vigorous public awareness and engagements to change the narrative perception of the public on the value of skills and apprenticeship. The Dangote Refinery in Nigeria under construction has engaged over 11,000 workforce from India, while our youth lack the required skills to be engaged. Africa should avoid a repeat of the same in the upcoming $25 billion trans-Saharan gas pipeline traversing the Gulf of Guinea to Europe. The absence of national occupational standards in many countries. Speaking further on his observations, the network noted that the absence of pathways to recognize skills obtained in the informal sector in most sub-Saharan African countries, including Nigeria, has led to a lack of opportunities for skilled labor migration across African regions. It also fingers the negative social perception of skilled workers alongside the weak interface that exists between trade unions, association, and skills apprenticeship development. On the way forward, the network recommended, amongst others, that each member country shall develop the national skills qualifications framework with adequate provisions for the informal sector. SASANet shall collaborate with World Skills to promote competition and talent hunt among African youths. Integrate NEET, not in education, employment and training, into the apprenticeship training program to promote inclusivity. It was also noted that Nigeria should host the secretariat of the network, while Kenya will host the next General Assembly in 2024. So let's take comments from Nigerians. The first commenter said, wicked man. Another person said, the African continent should deliberately review its education system to focus on skill set acquisition rather the current academics focus. Our youth leave many schools and nothing tangible they can do. Plenty theory without applicability is bad for our guided development. Another said, this is pure stupidity. Another said, Dangote is a scam. These are the real reasons unmentioned. Another said, can Nigerians see the kind of display of discrimination against Nigerian in Nigeria? 11,000 workers from India and Nigerians can do the work. Can you see the laziness and unproductive our works and universities are? I can't believe it. And see our labor unions. Can't they see that it is not true? Is a way of moving capital flights to abroad? Investigations should start now. Another said, despite explanations from SASANet, you guys still insulting Dangote, a company that requires adequate skills. Do you want him to hire unskilled people like you to run down the company? Blame our government, not Dangote. Another said, the organized labor should rise up. Another said, Dangote is Nigeria's worst enemy to our youths. Another said, after using debt from Nigerian government to build the refinery, why not have an institute and have these people attend compulsory training at no cost or wage for a 6 month period as criteria for engaging them? That sounds intelligent. Another person said, Who is still in doubt that these criminals do not mean well for Nigeria? They are only interested in looting. That is the meaning of one Nigeria, looting. Another said, if what we have read is true, then it is saddening. This is a country where we have countless unemployed youths, and if Dangote's industry's own estimation that the so-called skilled workers did not meet your standard, why not employ fellow Nigerians and organize short courses to brush them up to your standard? By so doing, Dangote will be helping our government to reduce unemployed figures and by extension, reducing poverty in the country. Another said, so it means Nigerians will never be employed there since they cannot get on the job training. We are people that used to work in our refineries, Indians too. Another said, these people no get any plans for the masses. Anybody that can should japa. Another said, Dangote, you're a very wicked man. All of una. Tell me how this so-called country called Nigerian work go day a whole 11,000 workers from another country. Abba, now wow. Another said they should send them back. If not, we will check the lines. Another said it's better because Nigeria will not employ qualified graduates with no godfather or connected to the presidency or legislators. That has given our universities off as producers of half-baked outputs. Another said Nigeria is finished. 11,000 Indian workers. Another commenter said Nigerian schools, which includes universities and polytechnic, releases 600,000 graduates every single year. So you want to tell me that out of this number, when you multiply it by so many years with the unemployed ones from the last 15 years that Dangote cannot find able human resource skills to fit into these jobs, but we can employ Indians of that amount, yeah, the smell. Another said, I'll find the right hands no matter where I had to if billions of dollars was involved. Please save your sentiment. I'm sure there are Nigerians still working there. Another said, because in 2025, when it's set to start functioning, most capable and skilled Nigerians must have escaped and left with those whose turn is to rule the country, and sure he knows those particular people lack the capacity to handle such refineries and would only depend on their philanthropical presidents to feed and clothe them. He's a businessman and understands the risk of employing people who can only choose a leader from their tribes. Another person said, if you're an employer of labor in Nigeria, you will understand this. My former boss employed Lebanese and Filipinos because the level of pilfering, embezzlement, entitlement, etc. by people is scary. Nigerians are talented and enterprising, but our work ethics are questionable. So is our anyhowness. Imagine a tailor sewed some aprons for us, but refused to hem the apron strings because no one will see it. We might be great at what we do, but until we learn how to be professional and take tiny details into consideration, this, in my opinion, will continue to happen. Another said, he employs the people he can trust. More Indian babies loading in Nigeria. Another said, because Indians will do it for less and work like they are getting paid more. Another commenter said, Nigerians are valued abroad than they are in their own country. Another said, because competent people have all jackpot. Another, many youth in Nigeria are busy defending their slave masters online. Even Indians are now considered wiser than us. These people no rate us at all. Because we think life is about cruise only. Even Dangote, that has been a source of governmental money moves, is now selective as well. Keep praising your slave masters. Sad. Another person said, for any business to succeed, you must do away with emotions and sentiments. Professionalism and experience must be the priority for any business owner. I personally cannot blame Dangote for employing expatriates from India, because if his refinery is not functioning as it should, we Nigerians will still be the first to blame him. It will only be wrong if he decided to hire laborers from outside Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Another person said he used the Nigerian taxpayers' money to build his refinery, but hired workers from India. Another said maybe because Nigerians can't do dirty jobs in their country like they do in other countries. I also feel it's safer working with foreigners. If you know, you know. Another said businesses around the world employ Indian people because of their culture and family values. Most of them don't want to spoil their family name, so they are honest and hardworking. Another said most people say Nigerians are not trustworthy and will wreck your business. But as someone who's worked in organizations with foreigners, here is what it is. You have a Nigerian, you pay him 150k and is your key employee, even a manager. You get an Indian or foreigner, you pay him in foreign currency, say 2 to 3k US dollars monthly. You lodge him in a service apartment or hotel, give him a car with an official driver and in some cases security. Pay for his everything, including food, phone, airtime, I mean everything. Then the Nigerian looks at the Indian and be like, but we do the same thing or I even work more than you. Why is my salary $180 with no incentives and his is $2,000 plus other benefits? The next move will be to get involved in fraudulent acts to sabotage the company and make more money. Provide the right environment and reward system and you will get the best. Don't make people feel they are being cheated or exploited. Overall, let's agree this is true. No president or Ministry of Labor would agree to it. You must employ Nigerians even up to key positions. It's like setting up a business in Dubai mainland. An indigene must have more shares than the foreigner for the business to be accepted to float. If not, go to the offshore areas. Oh, wait, I just remembered this is a lawless country where anything goes. That is quite deep. Another person said, the truth is that Dangote is trying to cover his tracks. Remember that the same Nigerians worked tirelessly for him and purchased his product, which made him the richest man in Africa today. If Nigerians decided to stop buying his product today, there wouldn't be a Dangote tomorrow, and that's a fact. Here in the US, Nigerians have more opportunities in engineering, while Indians occupy 80% of tech jobs. 11,000 is a substantial number of workers. I hope Nigerians can unite and refrain from buying his product for 2 months as a form of protest. That way he will learn his lesson that you shouldn't undermine your own support base. Another commenter said, that number is just too much. I can understand for a new refinery you would need experienced hands, but trust me, these are Indians that will be recruited by their fellow senior Indians who feels they are better than us, and that's not true. In 2009, I worked with Indians at EPCL Indorama as a trainee first, before going ahead to spend additional 1 year. Same Indian trainee was brought in by Indians, paid more and got expatriate treatment. Meanwhile, I was far better than 4 of them that was in my unit's PE and PP plans. We should learn to appreciate what we have, considering the state of the poverty and lack of jobs. Another said, youths from Nigeria lack adequate skills. Why not employ from Nigeria and give them the adequate training? Those employed from India, were they born with the skills? Were they not trained? We never cherish ourselves. Another person said, then you train them. This is a perfect opportunity to start apprenticeships in Nigeria. I'm so pissed. Another said, I keep telling people that we Nigerians deserve the leaders we get because the hypocrisy smelling in this comment section is wild. So you will leave thousands of people in your country to bring thousands from other countries because you're a wise businessman. People are just capping nonsense. Another said, this is laughable. So they couldn't partner with the government to sponsor 11,000 Nigerian students on an apprenticeship worldwide to gather the required expertise? Yeah, people. Another said, for industrializing Nigeria, you would need a certain mindset. An average Nigerian trivializes factory work. There's this soft life mentality. It's better to bring in people who actually reconcile to the fact that there is indeed honor in any labor you find yourself in. Another said, I was invited to come work there as an electric and electronics engineer. Our school gave them a list. I declined. Most people from my school were invited schools because I went to a petroleum university. They only invited people who graduated with a 2-1. I heard the test and exams wasn't easy though. They sent area of concentration. Personally, I feel it filtered capable Nigerians too. Most Nigerians are not competent and is the sad truth, and it was considered to run smooth at first before gambling with workers. Please don't come for me for the above claim. I have receipts and yes, not everyone will still take the job if given. Another said, this is really sad, but let's not forget that Dangote probably learned from the guy who was posting about the refineries months ago that it was not completed and it was commissioned. A businessman would always prefer workers he can trust, not to bring shame to his business. Also, capable hands. How many schools have taught practical in Nigeria lately? Many factors to consider. Another person said, and I followed Hale and posted him when he completed his refinery. Now to employ me now war. Another said, Dangote's decision to employ 11,000 workers from India may be influenced by skill availability, cost considerations, and project requirements. Hiring foreign workers can bring specialized expertise and expedite project timelines. However, it's essential for companies like Dangote to prioritize local talent development to foster economic growth and empowerment within Nigeria. Striking a balance between utilizing foreign expertise and investing in the local workforce can lead to a win-win situation for both the company and the Nigerian community. Another said, they lacked adequate skills, but yet school fees now is 165k in a lag. Now only who chop belle full fit pay. They lack adequate skills, but life here isn't encouraging. Another said, the oil and gas sector have very experienced people majorly from Asia. I can say this because I've worked with them in and out of the country. If you need capable hands, not this theory being taught in a Nigerian institution, you have to outsource for the best technical knowledge, knowing how much investment has been invested into the industry. However, you can also create opportunity for industrial attachment and less experienced personnel to be groomed under these experienced personnel, and in future, terminate their service so you can have indigenous workers and staff. Another said, Nigerians don't trust Nigerians. That's the reason. Another person said, 11,000 foreigners. This is terrible, I beg. Another said, this is also why it is always amusing to see Nigerians celebrating or commissioning over the increase or decrease in fortune of these oppressors, the very individuals responsible for the chronic monopolization of the country's entire economy. Civilized society have functional labor protection laws that prohibit this brazen level of outsourcing for a reason, which is to protect indigenous workers, but not in my country, Nigeria. Okay, another person said, majority of Nigerian youths are not employable. Don't worry. Another said, Dangote is not government. He can employ whoever he wants. It's his company. Another said, even Indian companies in India can never and will never give Nigerians job. Even other African citizens. Africa Nawa. Another said, because he knows a lot of Nigerians have university certificates but no skills. Very sad. Another said, there is no friend in business, strictly professional or your business crash. Another said, Nigerians are the ones killing themselves. They are too divided that the man fear what will happen to his industry if he employs a whole lot of them. Imagine telling a Yoruba man to work and he will say because the order is coming from his Igbo senior colleague that he won't do it until it comes from a Yoruba man. Imagine an Hausa man telling an Igbo man to work and he says Abuki cannot tell him what to do. So the man made the right decision by choosing people who want progress and is ready to work as a team instead of fighting themselves and bringing envy. Another person said, if una don't open our own billion-dollar project, back Nigerians there. Another said, might seem very unfair, but truth be told, the Indians will do it better with less or no corrupt practices. Bring in one Nigerian, the next they start bringing in their incompetent relatives and friends. They mess the whole thing up and then Dangote would now suffer the loss. Okay, so we need to stop there. There are still so many comments about this with people sharing their various opinions. What's your opinion? Please drop it in the comment section below. Bye for now.